Alright, so I'm finally taking the Diamondback out for the first ride. Don't know how long this video is going to be because I got my camera charged, but oh wait, never mind, I take that back. Alright, I was looking at the wrong thing. Finally up and running. I don't know how it will be because I finally found a rear wheel that was small enough that fit the tube and the tire, but I might have to mess with the axles while I'm out because it seemed a little loose. I tightened it earlier, but I don't know how good a job I did because it seemed a little wobbly before I turned the camera on. So we'll see. Hopefully I don't have any problems, little to no problems. Since the other bike isn't working. But I have to get two my other bike. So we'll see. Right now it's a fixed gear. Just because, why not? Mostly because the wheel set up with a fixed cog and it came with no brakes, so it kind of works out, and that's Rome. Had the one rear pad and then the left lever for the brake, but no anything else, just those two pieces. So yeah, but it looks like a BMX, so no worries. Might have to raise the seat up, I forgot about that. I'm kind of silly, even though it's a 26-inch. And the wheels, at least, I think I'm just gonna do it now. With how tall I am, it is not fun, especially since I can't coast. Hold on. Didn't realize it was that low. I hadn't sat on it in a couple weeks, so that's why. Sat on when I first got it. But no worries. I had that one inches. Plenty. I have two of these. I have this one, which is more different sizes, more standard stuff. Then I have a Part Tool one that is bike related. I like to have both just in case, since I ride so many different kinds of bikes for the most part. Just in case, because this one has, I'm pretty sure this one has more sizes out of the two. So that's why I'd rather have this one alone or the other one more than the other one, or have both of them, just because, at least with this one, I might get away with it. It depends though. It should be good. If not, I'll do it over. Being over 6 foot tall sometimes has its annoyances. Most of the time it's not that bad, but sometimes with these type things, you gotta, especially if you're like me and you're mostly legs, I don't really have much of a torso in comparing the two. Even more so annoying if the seating isn't right. But since it's not a 20-inch, it's a little different. Usually when I ride a 20-inch, I just pedal and just cruise. Standing up instead of sitting down. Alright, that's better. This will work for now. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just pretty much slammed, or a little above being slammed at least. Don't remember. I already forgot. Alright. Probably gonna go slow. Slower than normal. Because the dropouts have been weird since I've had the bike. Plus the axle. And people suck around here, as you can see with this Mustang. Nothing with the car in front. So yes, no worries. I had lucked out and had both my front lights in my backpack, so I put one on the front, one on the back, just to be legal. So it's gonna go dark soon, so you know, no worries on that. Front. Hoping the chain and the cranks aren't messed up, since the bike, when I got it, was left out in the elements. So that's not another reason I'm not going too quick. And staying local. Don't know what I'm in for. Whether it's the chain ring, cranks, back wheel, front wheel, handlebars, headset, I don't know. Oh, this is awkward. I'm about to pass the dude's house. That gave it to me. Dang it. Didn't think that one through. It's just not as steep this way. I'll live. He's never out there. I've never actually seen him until he gave it to me. But this is the third time I've gone past his house today. Or second time. I went the other way when I came back. Ugh. I went to the post office, not being creepy, it's just there's usually not that much traffic on the street. So you just take it round trip or one way, or I'll turn left over that way, which is towards his house, to go there, and then sometimes I'll come back to the right. But since I was skating earlier, I might not be as noticeable unless my shirt and backpack were remembered, and possibly my helmet. Don't remember if I had this one on or my other one. I think I had this one on. I think I found it right before I left. Alright, gonna go slow. So since it was between 10:30 and 11 this morning, it was nice and bright out, but not my fault if she didn't hear me. Since skateboards are loud, every time I hit the little that thingy, the little line, I assumed she'd hear me, but we were right here at this bush, not tree, and it startled her. I didn't feel bad since she was all over the place, and if she didn't have headphones in and she didn't hear me, then she was spacing out. And elsewhere, definitely not on me. But if she did have headphones in and they were too loud, and she had both in instead of just one, how am I supposed to know from behind? Because I assumed she had some kind of earbuds in, since I didn't see anything. But I still don't know. But she didn't even look in my direction behind, so I have no clue what was going on with her when it came to her ears. I made that guy feel bad. I don't know why the light just turned green as he was approaching for the people coming this way as I was, and he decides to pull all the way up right when it turns red, just because it's a red light. He could turn, but didn't help him since he had to wait for all the traffic and me to go across. So I just kept shaking. I didn't acknowledge him, but I shook my head before I passed him and all the way across the crosswalk to the sidewalk. I hate when people do that. It's so annoying. I don't mind riding the street since I do, but blocking the crosswalk is super annoying. It's not like he really had much of an excuse. The light just turned. It was already red before he was at the light. So it's not like he, if I remember correct, it's not like he was too late. Pretty sure it was red for at least 5 to 10 seconds. Something like that. Oopsie doodle. I want to sprint, but I don't want to because I'm thinking it might mess up the back wheel more than it already is. Alright. Not sure why I went this way, since every direction is downhill or uphill. Not very smart. Hello. What the hell? Obviously I was going across. I had the right of way. I thought they were waiting for me. That I also hate. They sat there so long. I thought that they were gonna be the right way. Kind of obvious to see me. Got lights on, and it's, even though they didn't have their lights on, and they should because it's a new California law to turn your lights on since last year, I think it was, or this year, around this time. Maybe a little buffer to when it's a little darker. Might be alright since the sun's still up. But still, waited so long that it gave the impression that they were waiting for me. A lot of complaining today, apparently. In a weird mood because of yesterday. Threw me off today. Especially because I don't know what's up with the tube. I didn't have any problems last night with it. The tube, I found what I thought was a replacement tube that was in my room, and I switched the valve cores because I knew the one that was in it was bad and was leaking. So I put the one from the tube that I had get punctured yesterday because I knew it was good. But then before I could get that settled, I did it the wrong way. And I ended up with I just switched the valves, but instead of putting the one from the tube that I lost yesterday, the one that popped, I put the one from the other one into the one that needed to be taken out. So that was a little bit of a funny mistake. But then I tried pumping it up this morning and it was leaking, so I don't know if I cross-contaminated them and did it again and put in instead of putting the working one into the replacement tube, if I put the valve that was already in it. So I guess I'm gonna check that tomorrow. I just have to find the other valve, or might just have to search around and see if I have another valve that would work with it. Not a big deal. Or see if I just need to tighten it more, not sure. Or it could be none of that. I did notice this morning that there is a little gash on the side of the valve. So that could be where my problem stems from. But I don't think so, since when I finally got the right valve into that tube, I did put it up to my ear and there was no problem. So I don't know what's up with that. So I guess I'll figure that out tomorrow, as well as figure out this back wheel feeling wobbly. If I had the money, I would just go to the bike shop and then have them assess the axle that came with the bike. I think it's broken. Well, I think it's bent slightly, but I'm not sure, because the rear drops on this are so weird that every wheel I put in it since I've had it, automatically on the right side when it's upside down, so the left side when it's this way, but when it's upside down and I'm facing it, it's the right side, it constantly goes up and it won't stay flush, so it just automatically goes crooked. So I don't know what's up with that. Since it happened with every wheel, I'm perplexed. But all of the bike shops are now out of the city. I had to go to Napa, Fairfield, Vacaville, or Benicia. Quite annoying not having a bike shop closer. The one in Benicia is the closest. It's not that bad, unless I have a reason I can't get there because of some malfunction. But if need be, I could always just skate down here if I'm having a bike problem, and then I could bring the bike with me and just hold it while I'm skating to get here quicker, or do what I need to do, because the bus does, even though it's an extra $10 to go around for a round trip ride, it goes to the street in Benicia that the bike shop is on. So that's fair. I wish they wouldn't have canceled they terminated last year in September on my dad's birthday the other bus that was a local bus that ran in between Vallejo and Benicia, and it was only $2. It was $1.75, but then they increased the fare, so it was $2 round trip. Not as bad, it was $2 one way, so $4 round trip. Not bad when you're broke. But now the only way to get there is the express bus, which costs $5. And oh, actually there's two different buses, but the other one doesn't go right there. It goes in a very random, secluded industrial area that wouldn't help me if I needed the bike shop. But yeah, so it went from being $4 round trip to $10 round trip, which isn't bad. So I try to go for free if I can, figure out a way, or if worse comes to worse and I'm desperate, I can always just ask for a ride. It only takes like 10 to 15 minutes to get there if I ask my mom for a ride, depending on traffic, so it's not much of an inconvenience in that realm. But I'd rather find my own way if possible. She doesn't really care about giving me rides, especially that close. I usually just use it as my last resort card if I can't situate getting there myself. Alright, so since I can't comment obviously about the rear wheel because if I wouldn't have taken it apart, it's a single speed cassette and I was trying to see what I could do because I don't have, off the top of my head, I don't think I have a